Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 10 o'clock is now arrived. We're all sitting comfortably. Excellent, great stuff. So I'm going to do item agenda number 1 before I go on to my main speech. So, first of all, any apologies for absence?
Good morning, Leader. I have an apology from Councillor Mason.
Thank you for that. And can I just note that the traffic is bad, and I do see a couple of members that are running late around trying to get here from Stafford. So just bear that in mind. Okay, point number 2, declaration of interest in accordance with Standing Order number 16. Are there any declarations of interest?
A declaration of a conflict of interest in item 7.
Thank you, Councillor Murray. Are there any other declarations?
Very possibly, Councillor, myself, to do with Article 7.
Thank you, Councillor Rogerson. So they are duly noted. Thank you. Get used to the putting the mic on. I move that the minutes of the meeting held. Sorry, I beg your pardon. A decision on the minutes of the meeting on the 16th of April of the minutes itself. Are there any comments about the minutes of the meeting? Wonderful. About my error of introduction there. Obviously very difficult because if members are new, very difficult to comment on the fact that they weren't here at the time. But thank you for that. I will note that and I will duly sign the minutes if everybody's happy with that. Thank you for that. Right, moving on to item number 4, the leaders' update. Well, good morning, everyone. First time I've had to formally do this. I'd like to open the Cabinet meeting today, my first time as leader of Staffordshire County Council, by saying what an honour and a privilege it is to have been given this responsibility. The last 6 weeks have been fascinating, challenging and eye-opening. As we get into the detail of the inner workings of the Council, we have been welcomed and supported by officers who share our passion for making a difference in the communities they work with. It has been a joy to work with them, to be honest. They've been really, really welcoming. In the first few weeks of our leadership, we have been clear that it's the business as usual for the Council, while we listen and while we learn. It's vital that Council services must continue to run whilst we get under the bonnet of how things occur. We have already confirmed our commitment to improving services and support for children with special educational needs and disabilities. One of our 4 core priorities, and now we're seeking the views of local people to feed into plans for how we support children in the future. We are determined to do as much as possible with the resources we have, but I am concerned that our efforts will not be enough if the government fails to step up with critical funding and policy reforms. And we do know that the Minister has pushed out a white paper till the autumn. The detail on how they intend to fund the ever-rising cost of SEND support or adult social care was absent with the last week's spending review, as the care was once again kicked down the road. Despite continued apathy and delay from the government, when it comes to care, locally our teams are working hard to deliver a quality service for residents. And now officially rated as good by the Care Quality Commission, I'd like to congratulate our adult social care teams on this achievement. It's no mean feat. Our inspection results put us amongst the top 5 best councils in the country. Caring for vulnerable children and elderly residents is important to us. It is also one of our biggest budget challenges. We already spend around £7 in every 10 on caring for people of all ages. Despite this, the Council has balanced the Many councils are on the brink of bankruptcy, but this is not the case in Staffordshire. The key question for us is whether taxpayers' money is being spent in the right places. Answering this will be our focus for the next few months as we move towards the budget setting process for 2026-27. Consider how we move funds to where they are most needed and make sure that every single penny of taxpayers' money is working as hard as it can. Finally, I'd like to offer huge congratulations to all those from Staffordshire who were recognised in the King's Birthday Honours List a few days ago. Staffordshire is the beating heart of this country, and people like you pouring your heart and soul into your communities are at the centre of that. Thank you once again for your commitment and dedication to Staffordshire as a county. Thank you. Item number 5, I'd like to ask Councillor Murray, Staffordshire means business. May I have the report?
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to say it's a great pleasure to begin my first update to Cabinet. My efforts to support and for the growth of Staffordshire's economy. I know you'll all agree with me when I say that Staffordshire is the heart of this country. We therefore want to work with businesses and our communities to ensure that our prominent position leads to a thriving and vibrant economy that benefits everyone. I'll begin by updating the number of the people in the county who are claiming universal credit and therefore requiring to seek work. Whilst only one part of the picture, this does provide us with a timely indicator of the state of the local economy, particularly the jobs market, highlighting any early issues that we may need to consider. In the previous month, we saw an increase of 108 claimants in Staffordshire, bringing the total claimant count in our county to 16,045, or 3% of the working age population. The youth claimant count in Staffordshire also saw an increase of 70 claimants to a total of 3,160 young people. The proportion of people in Staffordshire aged 18 to 24 that are claiming work-related universal credit now stands at 5%. Whereas both these claimant counts may be better than the national average, unfortunately cannot say the same for the average earnings, which is below the national average. This further increase in the claimant count and our low average wage highlights the importance to continue to engage with our younger residents, to continue in education and training, to help them find employment or continue with further education. Geographically positioned along with our extensive road network, direct links to the A5, A34, A38, M6, the M6 toll and the M54, along with our production hubs in Manchester, Birmingham, truly makes Staffordshire the heart of the country. But I believe Staffordshire can be the beating heart of this country in all that we do and have to offer. A key element to this is making sure we successfully market Staffordshire correctly, making it the global name it once was. This will encourage more inward investment, more visitors, create more jobs at higher pay, benefiting the whole of Staffordshire. Related to this, I was delighted to open the launch event of Screen Staffordshire last week. This is our county's first film office, which will bring more film and television to the county. We must not underestimate the increased value screen time can have to an area, especially one that has had so little in recent years. Screen Staffordshire will bring a great level of filming on locations to the county, with the potential of bringing huge benefits to the area. Remember, these productions often invest heavily in local services and local businesses. I truly look forward to the success of Screen Staffordshire and all it will bring to our county in the coming months and years. We must start working more with our businesses and our communities, our community partners, and really fly the flag of Staffordshire and support events that help put us on the map. For example, last year JCB hosted the Live Golf Tournament at its Golf Country Club for the first time. It attracted 37,000 fans who enjoyed 3 days of outstanding golf and entertainment. The Live Golf is returning again this year at the end of July. Once again, bringing 54 international golf stars and attracting tens of thousands of fans from around the world to Staffordshire, plus live and recorded broadcasting reaching potentially millions across the world. I'm just astounded that the previous administration chose not to be associated with this event. It has lost out on the opportunity of promoting Staffordshire to this global audience. I won't make that mistake, and I want us to work with the organisers to make sure future events like Live and others help showcase Staffordshire to secure more investment and visitors to our beautiful county in the future. Whilst these types of events are a huge positive and bring substantial benefits to the area, Staffordshire is the home of many attractions, our restaurants, hotels, pubs, theme parks, along with our great natural assets. This attracts people to visit the county all year round, benefiting countless businesses. Our visitor economy is one of our most important sectors, and we will continue to recognise and promote our tourism business to a higher level. 14 businesses from Staffordshire were part of the National Visit England Award for Excellence, which were held in Brighton earlier this year. I'm really pleased to say that Kiel University Events and Conferencing Team won gold in the Business Events Venue of the Year Award, whilst World of Wedgwood won silver in the International Tourism Award. These type of prestigious awards show the quality of our tourism offered within Staffordshire, and I congratulate the winners and all businesses which attended these awards. I look forward to working with all these businesses. It's in a sector I personally know quite a lot about. I, along with Hayley, our Cabinet Lead for Communities and Culture, will really drive and promote Staffordshire's great out-of-home and out-of-business leisure activities, and together we believe we can make Staffordshire England's playground. Staffordshire was once home to the Black Country and the Industrial Revolution. She would expect us to be home to the innovative and productive businesses, which of course we are, but there is room for improvements in this sector. It's given us great scope for growth. All of this will be key to our forward plans to deliver growth and prosperity to Staffordshire. We must also congratulate 3 Staffordshire companies who have recently been recognised through the 2025 King's Awards for Enterprise, which is awarded to businesses for outstanding achievement. TMT first received the award for innovation, and Mobile Communications and Cozy Direct both received awards for international trade. I'd like to add my congratulations to all 3 companies and wish their continued success for the future. Finally, this month I want to touch on several events that have been taking place within our county recently, including Staffordshire Day at the beginning of May, quite an important day for this council. The packed calendar of events took place over the weekends: the Great British Food Festival at Trentham, and the Staffordshire Moorlands Walking Festival, and the Tulip Festival at Lower Drayton Manor Farm. And so forget the National Memorial Arboretum, which has recently played a key role in the country's VE Day celebrations, hosting events to mark 8 decades since the end of the Second World War, highlighting Staffordshire's key role in celebrating and remembering our armed forces. As we enter the summer, there are far more activities planned within the county, and I look forward to updating the Cabinet and the public on all these events in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murray, for that. That was an excellent report, very informative. I can ask the cameras any questions that anybody wants to put to the Deputy Leader regarding that report at all. No? Excellent. Wonderful. We shall move on to item number 6. That is Councillor Large, the final financial outturn for 24-25 on pages 13 to 36. Councillor Chris Long.
Good morning. Thank you, Councillor Cooper. We have now the narrative for the final financial outturn for 24-25. Members, you have the report attached. This report represents the final position for us for both revenue and capital budgets at the end of the 24-25 financial year. The headline is the final outturn position of an underspend of 5.3 million. This final outturn position reflects underspends across all of the directorates. However, we've had some significant pressures being seen in children in care placements and in older people with physical disabilities, with both services being partially funded by additional allocation of social care grant. The contingency budget of 50 million has not been utilised in the year, and it's proposed that this is to be contributed to the Capital Reserve Fund for future capital investment. The capital programme shows a total expenditure of 151.6 million, and this reflects our continued investment in school places, highways, property and economic regeneration. The details of each area are contained within the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lodge. Is there any comments or questions from Cabinet members to Councillor Lodge? Would you like to move the motion then, Councillor Lodge?
I would recommend that the Cabinet members note that the final outturn position and approve the contribution of the unspent contingency budget into the capital reserve, with the overall underspend being added to the general balances. And secondly, the Cabinet members approve the capital financing arrangements as set out in Appendix 3.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Can I take that as agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you, councillors. Okay. Item number 7. Contract for special placements for pupils with education.
If I may be excused from this section.
You may indeed. That is correct, yes. Thank you for pointing that out.
Maybe I
Also, Councillor Hodgson at this point. I'll read out the heading first. So, point number 7, contract for special placement for pupils with education, health and care plans, pages 37 to 78. Councillor Janet Higgins then, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. We continue to meet the rise in demand to provide the best possible support for children with education, health and care plans by commissioning good quality education within Staffordshire. Not only does this contract provide part of that range of specialist provision necessary to educate children and young people, it also offers taxpayers value for money and complements our commitment to educate children as close to their home as possible. Agreement is sought to continue to secure 25 full-time equivalent day placements at the Haven School Limited, an Ofsted registered independent special school which has been approved by the Secretary of State under Section 41 of the Children and Families Act 2014. Since the Haven School opened in 2016, Staffordshire County Council has secured placements at the school, and a direct award block commission with the Haven School Limited was established in 2018 and 2021. The most recent contract term approved by Cabinet covered the period from 1st of September 2021 to the 31st of August 2023, with the option for 2 one-year extensions up to August the 31st, 2025, which has been utilised. A further direct award and contractual period with Haven School Limited being requested. This will ensure that the council has appropriate and equitable education provision to meet the social, emotional and mental health needs, SEMH, of young people aged 11 to 19 with education, health and care plans, EHCPs. Is there any questions there?
Thank you, Councillor. Just want to turn off your mic. Are there any questions from the floor from anybody regarding this? Any comments before we move to this? I just want to make one point. I got a letter from Angela Rayner this week sort of spelling out this funding of SEND, that the government was planning to sort of kick this into the long grass until the autumn, until there's a white paper. And obviously we don't know what the outturn is until spring next year. It's very challenging to have policies from central government imposed on local authorities and then not give them the resources to do this and expect local people to pick up the slack in effect. If it's a central government policy, my view is it should be funded fully via central government. So what we'll do now is ask you to move the motion again, and I'll ask members if they agree. Is that okay?
So I'll say the recommendations. A. Approve the award of a contract via a direct award to the Haven School Limited from 1st of September 2025 up to 31st of August 2029 for 25 full-time equivalent FTE places. B. Agree that the contractual period is for an initial 2-year period, 1st of September 25 to 31st of August 2027, with the option to extend for up to two further extension periods from September the 1st, 2027 to 31st of August 2028 and 1st of September 2028 to 31st of August 2029. And C, agree approval to enter into the contract and to utilise any contract extensions be delegated to the Director for Children and Families. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Higgins. Can I ask members, is that agreed? We all happy with that? It is agreed, thank you. Yeah, could you ask the people to come back in? Okay, welcome back, gentlemen. Thank you for that. Moving on to item number 8, framework for food waste disposal. Can I ask Councillor Andrew Miners to give his report, please? That's on pages 79 to 80.
Thank you, Chair and Cabinet members. I'd like to just to give you the report summary here of what you've been able to access online with the report. It sets out what the County Council needs to procure a new disposal framework for food waste following introduction of a new statutory requirements from the government. The approach outlined in the paper will ensure the best value of the money for Staffordshire. I'd like to highlight just a few things on here, particularly one reasons for recommendations. If you look at item 7, you can see that the waste composition analysis from Staffordshire's residual waste was completed by Keele University, actually way back in 2019, and it demonstrated on average 31.5% of Staffordshire's residual waste is comprised of food waste. And then another one to highlight perhaps of the report is that the resource and value for money implications, item number 19. There's a medium-term financial strategy of saving a reduction in residual waste in the next couple of years. The framework will be achieving a saving for a reduction of residual waste disposal costs of perhaps £500,000 to £1 million of the taxpayers' valuable money upon residents' engagement, making sure the residents do engage with the new service. There's a few other items I'd like to highlight here. So we're very pleased to bring this Cabinet today, and we want to drive value for money. I'm sure you'll agree this paper presents that opportunity. As we've said, the government has introduced simpler recycling reforms to increase recycling rates across England. As part of this, by April 2026, every local council authority in England will need to collect food waste from households on a weekly basis. Let's collect food waste from households on a weekly basis. For Staffordshire, this collection will be done by our districts and boroughs, but the Staffordshire County Council has a responsibility to dispose of this food waste collected. At the moment, food waste, as we've said, goes into the main bins for most households across Staffordshire, except in Newcastle and the Moorlands. The introduction of these national changes means that we could be diverting around 20,000 tonnes, that's 20,000 tonnes of waste per year from the incinerators at W2R in the south of the county and Hansford in the north. The gate fee per tonnage for disposing of waste at the incinerator is higher than a gate fee for the tonnage of food waste. So again, money can be saved there. So we're increasing the recycling, and we're also hopefully giving some money back to the residents and tax and save money. The decision to enter into this framework rather than procuring from a single contractor provides the best outcome for Staffordshire residents, as it provides competition and flexibility in terms of food waste disposal arrangements. As more authorities across the county procure for the disposal point, there is a risk of the gate fee for food waste disposal may fluctuate over the coming 12 to 18 months. By securing the disposal point early, Staffordshire County Council will secure a compliant disposal point ahead of any market fluctuations. To maximise the value for money, we will need to ensure that residents have as much information as quickly as possible around the containers, the food waste bags, and tips to make the recycling scheme successful. As well as answering any concerns, we'll work closely with the government and districts and boroughs on this over the coming months. Therefore, I move the recommendations for consideration.
Thank you, Councillor Miners. Are there any questions from members at all on this issue? I do think it's excellent. I mean, we've obviously started the process of trying to literally drive out waste. No puns intended on that one. But yeah, any cost reductions is most welcome. So thank you for that. Can I take it from members? Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Oh, please carry on. Please carry on.
Sorry about that. So I recommend the Cabinet A approve that the following procurement process, the successful suppliers be appointed to the framework agreements. B, provides the delegated authority to the Director for the Economy, Infrastructure and Skills to allow the contract to be approved for execution, and that the authority is also given for the duly authorised Office of Legal Services to execute the contract by affixing the common seal or by signature as appropriate in accordance with the Council's processes. And lastly, C, notes that any instructions in terms of the framework agreement, subsequent call-offs will be approved in accordance with the Council's procurement regulations. Over.
We're done. Thank you. Once again, I'll ask, is any questions from the floor before we ask if it is agreed on those additional points? Is that all agreed? Wonderful. Thank you for that. Item number 9. Decisions taken by Cabinet members under delegated powers. And there is just one Cabinet member delegated decision to report. This was a decision by the Cabinet member for children and young people to approve the proposed expenditure, volumes and delivery arrangements for the Round 7 Household Support Fund in Staffordshire. And as with this item, there is no discussion, so it's just merely for information. Point number 10, the forward plan. The forward plan lists the matters coming before the Cabinet and a decision over the next few months. In July, we will consider a report by the Cabinet member for health and care on care models within Staffordshire's extra care schemes. A report by the Cabinet member for connectivity seeking approval for delegated authority towards contracts for phase 1, e.g. the LIFT project. Again, this is an item for information. Item number 11, exclusion of the public. I move that the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business, which involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in the paragraphs of Part 1 of Schedule 12A as amended of Local Government Act 1972 indicated. We just have one exempt item for this.